Now that we know where to put our hands, I'm going to tell you about the perfect hand position. Now, it's really important that we put our hands in a good position so that we can move our fingers really fast and so that it is quite easy for us to move our fingers, and also so that we don't injure or hurt ourselves. So, I'm going to be starting with the right hand. Now, the right hand is, I think, a little bit easier. All you have to do is drop your hand by your side and just relax your fingers. Then when you pick your hand up, that there is the perfect hand position for flute playing. Now, what makes this the perfect hand position? Well, my pointer and my thumb are directly on top of each other. And that goes perfectly around my fourth finger. So don't forget, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So my thumb and fourth finger are directly on top of each other. Now, if I was to hold my flute this way, you'll notice that my thumb is not all the way out here, and my finger is somewhat on the tip. It's not out here. Now, when you put your fingers out like this, I call them flippers. And believe it or not, if you ever get a holly flute, the ones with the holes in the keys, you won't be able to cover the holes properly if you're doing this. And you will also you'll be a lot slower when you're trying to play fast passages. So make sure that you don't have the flippers and the overshooting thumb. So make sure you pull it back and you're playing on your tips and your thumb is directly underneath your fourth finger. And now for the perfect left hand position. Now, left hands are quite interesting because I see a lot of common issues. Now, one of the first things that I see is people who, instead of having a nice curved natural position in their hand and their fingers, they pull it too far up, they really twist this first pointer, and then their fingers either hang down here or they'll come up when they're needed and then they'll drop down when they're not. Now, a couple of issues with this. If my hand is too far up this way, I can't actually hit the keys I need to hit. So I need to make sure that my hand is far enough down and my fingers are naturally curved so that I can easily access and play all of the keys. Now, if you've got your fingers all the way down here underneath your flute, and you probably won't notice you're doing this until someone points it out to you, but if you're ever playing a couple of notes and you're dropping your fingers down here, then all of a sudden you have to bring them all the way up and around the flute to get back to the keys. So again, this leads to inaccuracies and also really can slow you down. So just make sure that your fingers are hovering above the keys, ready to play. Make sure that they're nicely bent. Make sure they're not flat flippers. Remember flippers from the last lesson I was talking about? We can do flippers on this side, or the whole we're up too high and we're moving our hand in order to hit the keys. So make sure it's a nice natural position. You should be touching the flute just here on the back of your knuckle. And then you should have a nice curve in each of your fingers so that you can easily access and play each of the keys.